Hello, everyone. It's Jay Monroe. Just stopping by to chat with you for a second. It's been a minute since we had an opportunity to speak, and I was just thinking about something. I was reading some stuff as I often do, and just thinking about things, and I kind of got a little distracted. I thought about my grandson, Jaden. Jaden is 5 years old, and he's such an adorable, smart little kid, and he just really cracks me up with some of the things that he does and he says. Well, for his past birthday, when he turned 5, I bought him a Batman outfit, costume, something of that nature. And this costume had a vest, some kind of vest type of thing. Part of the costume is real bulky, and when he puts it on, it makes him look real muscular kind of thing. So he wears it kind of like a shirt, but it's real puffy and things like that. And so he looks like this big old muscular somebody. It had a cape, and it also had a mask. And Jaden really, really, really loved this costume. And once he got it, he'd go home and wants to wear it all the time. Wants to wear it at home. Even wanted to wear it to the store. My daughter told me that he told her one day that when he's wearing his mask, she cannot call him Jaden. She has to call him Batman. I thought that was so funny and hilarious. So the next time he was over, I asked him, I said, "So Jaden, when you wear your Batman costume and you have your mask on, can I call you Jaden?" And he said, "No, Gigi, you have to call me Batman." I'm like, okay. So Batman it will be whenever you're wearing your mask. And the funny thing about that is we wear masks too. We wear masks all the time. Some of us are wearing our mask at all times. And the thing about that is sometimes it's a good thing and sometimes it's not such a good thing. A lot of times people wear masks because they're trying to disguise who they really, really are. And the mask serves as a facade for them to represent somebody who they really are not. The interesting thing about that is that when Jaden's wearing his mask, he doesn't want to be identified as who he really is. He wants to be identified as the person that the mask represents. And how many people function like that on a daily basis? A whole lot. And the thing about that is, how true are you being to yourself when you do that? I realize that there are some times when we have to switch roles and we have to do things and get in a different mind frame depending on what we're doing, what we're dealing with, what kind of environment we're in. That's pretty typical, and I get that, and I understand that. But when I get concerned about it is when people wear that mask to try to hide from who they really are. Some people wear a mask at all times. They go to bed with one, they wake up with one. And that's because for some reason they don't want to deal with who they really, really are. It's probably too painful to deal with who they really, really are. Some people are just not wanting to be accountable for who they really, really are. So rather than trying to fix and deal with the things that they may not like about themselves, they'd rather put on a mask and pretend to be somebody who they really are not. Some people wear masks because they are trying to be something that someone else wants them to be, not necessarily who they really want to be. There's so many reasons why people wear masks all the time, and they want to be identified as what that mask represents rather than who they really are. But what I will say about that is you have to be careful with that. You have to be careful that there's not some underlying issues that really need to be addressed. Sometimes you have to take the mask off. Just take the mask off and deal with whatever is underneath that mask. Because probably 9 times out of 10, if you do that, you don't even have to wear a mask. If you just go ahead and deal with what's underneath, the thing that you're trying to hide from, the thing that you don't want other people to see or to know about you, if you deal with those things and work those things out, there'll be no need for a mask. You can be your authentic self. No mask required. No mask needed. So I say this thing to you. Masks can sometimes be helpful things. We can do that, and we can do it as necessary. But it shouldn't be something that we do all the time. We should never be afraid to remove the mask and just be ourselves and be who we are. So I say to you, if you're hiding behind a mask rather than just functioning in the mask, whether you're trying to be what the mask represents instead of what's behind the mask, you might need to really think about that. There might be some things you need to deal with. It's not always easy. And I say that because I think we've all been in that situation before, myself included. I wanted to hide pain. Masking was something that I was very good at when it came to hiding pain. And I know that there may be a lot of other people out there doing the same. Your mask could be hiding pain, shame, guilt, anger, frustration, whatever it may be. Just remember, that mask is not actually helping you to heal. It's only covering up things. And if you don't properly deal with the things that you're hiding behind the mask, that can actually have a very, very bad outcome down the line. So, again, sometimes we have to wear those masks. We have to get into role, and that's what Jaden does. He gets into the role. He gets into character. And we all have to do that in our daily lives as we're all busy in our professions, in our careers, in our personal lives. Sometimes we have to switch hats and we have to switch masks and get into role. But those are permanent. Those are not permanent things. That's pretty temporary. We remove the mask and we can get comfortable in being who we are. But for those of you who place the mask on and they never remove the mask, I want you to think about what you need to do to stop hiding from what's underneath that mask. You got to deal with those things. It's very important so that the next time you put on a mask, it's going to be because that's something you need to do for the moment, but it doesn't have to be something that you have to wear permanently. You can remove your mask whenever you want and feel good about the person that's behind it. So until next time, this is your girl Jay Monroe, the Successability Coach. Make sure you connect with me on Twitter at J Monroe Wisdom, Instagram at J_Monroe00. You can always find me as well on YouTube, J Monroe, the Successability Coach, or you can connect with me on my Facebook page at J Monroe Consulting. And I look forward to connecting with you there as well as here, however you're seeing me today. So until next time, peeps, be good to yourself. And as always, be blessed.